What's up, you guys? This is going to be a quick bonus video on how to use Multilogin, because as you guys know, this is a very essential tool and I get a lot of questions from you guys on how to use it. I think it's one of those things where to me it's very simple just because I've used this for so long, but I kind of took a second to reflect and I think back to when I first used Multilogin and some things were a little bit iffy and it was hard to understand. So no worries, we're going to go ahead and we are going to break it down. I'm going to explain Multilogin, why it's necessary. We're going to talk about proxies versus browsers. I'm going to show you guys how you should organize your account. And then we're also going to show like how to log into Facebook accounts, how to accept requests and all this stuff. So this is just a mock or just like a temporary account I just made so I could literally show you guys this. So yeah. First things first, let's explain Multilogin and why it's necessary. So Multilogin is this software, and essentially what it does is it lets your computer act as many computers, right? So for example, when you log into your Wi-Fi, you have what's called an IP address. It's like a string of numbers which shows where you're logging in from, right? So let's say, for example, you had 2 or 3 business managers and you're logging in from the same IP address, which is, your home Wi-Fi. If one of them goes down, Facebook will link that you're logging in from the same IP address, and they'll shut the other ones down, right? So that's where proxies come into play, which we'll talk about in a second. And then you have individual browsers, right? So for example, if you use Google Chrome, that's a browser. If you use Safari, that's a browser. If you use Firefox, that's a browser, right? And each browser has data that's stored in it, right? So for example, if you're logging into Facebook, even if, let's say for example, it's from your same Wi-Fi, but it's from a different browser, right? So normally speaking, let's say you log into Facebook from Google Chrome, but today you're logging in from Safari, right? That's a separate browser. But what this does is it allows you to log in from the same IP and the same browser every single time. So it has a higher trust factor with Facebook, and you can pretty much do unlimited, as many as you possibly need. So that's why I really like this software. I know that some people have said that there's other competing softwares. I've never used any other software, so I do not know if they're good or not. I can't vouch for them. However, I'm not getting paid to say this, but I really do love Multilogin. It's definitely changed my life for e-com, so shout out to them. But yeah, so we just kind of got into that, proxies versus browsers, what's the difference? And I'll show you, realistically what it is. So for example, this right here would be like a browser, right? And then within the browser, hold on, let me click on this. Within the browser, you plug in the proxy, right? So this is like an example of a browser, and then you plug in the proxy, which I'll show you how to link up the proxies. But before we do this, I want to show you guys a basic way of how you can organize Multilogin, right? So you want to have, originally it'll just be all unassigned. You want to create different groups, and I recommend splitting it into this. So you have business managers, fresh proxies, warming profiles, and graveyard, right? And this will help you just be more organized. I remember, honestly, we used Multilogin probably like a year and a half before we even organized it into any categories, so it just looked horrible. Like we had hundreds of browser profiles and they were completely unorganized, and then one day I was just like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I have to go and organize this, and it helps out a lot. So as you can see, right, self-explanatory, fresh proxies would be like if you go and buy proxies and you haven't used them yet, you would just, have them all listed here. And then business managers, this would be like if you have a BM or multiple BMs, you just, rationate BM1 profile 1, BM1 profile 2, BM1 profile 3, and then BM2 profile 1. You guys get the setup, right? And then warming profiles, this would be, your profiles that are warming up, right? And I like to label them by day. So let's say you just logged into it, it's day 1. Okay, day 1. Next day you warm it up, go in, you switch the name to day 2. So this way you can, always track the progression of your warming up profiles. Because the thing is let's say you buy like 10 profiles and you don't, put day 1, day 2, day 3, you don't track it properly. Then what might end up happening is you might get a couple of them confused. So let's say, in my warming method video in my Facebook backend structure, and in the document I told you that realistically you shouldn't really add a profile to a business manager unless it's been warmed up for like at least 5 days. So what can end up happening is, like, if you're unorganized, you might put one that's on like day 2 into the VM, which would not be a good thing, right? So this is a good way to kind of make sure that doesn't happen. But now that I got that out of the way, hold on, I want to make sure. Yeah, so I showed you guys labeling. So let's say, for example, this is in the fresh proxies, which means like no Facebook account has touched this yet. And let's say you finally link up a Facebook account to it. What you would do to move it is you go here, you go move to group, and then you go move to warming profiles. Now, we're not going to do that right now. That's how you do it. Or if you link up a business manager, move. And that's how you move it. Now, let's talk about staying relatively organized. What I like to do is I like to have the username and the password right here. And then if you're buying from Scale Doctor, which is who I personally buy from, right, what they'll do is they'll give you a website to go to and a code, which I'm going to show you guys actually how to use that in just a second. And that will be your 2 things that you'll put right here. So now that you guys kind of got this, let's go over how to set up a browser, right? And then we'll show you also at the same time how to set up the proxies. So here we are. Actually, hold on. I need to go into the settings of the browser. Okay, so here we are, right? Okay, doom. All right, actually, we just put this right here back in the middle again. But here's what you guys are going to do. So a couple things might be different depending upon what kind of computer you're logging in from. So if you're logging in from a Windows computer, a couple of this stuff might look different, but it's all relatively the same. Like the basic settings for what you need is right here, right? If it switches a couple things based upon your computer, don't worry about that. So operating systems, I'm on a Mac right now. I do have a Windows computer, but it's on Mac, right? So if you're on a Windows computer, don't switch this to Mac. Just keep it as what it comes as. For browser, I use Mimic. There's also Stealth Fox, which is another one they have. I just have had better, I guess, previous experience using Mimic. And then what I'm going to do is I don't really want to go through and explain each and every little intricate detail. It's just, trust me, we've done this for a long time. With the settings that you're about to see, just copy them, right? So switch this on, and most of the stuff already does come on as it is, so you shouldn't really have to change too much. Make sure it's switched over, make sure all these are green. For proxy, we're going to go over this in just a quick second, but we're gonna save that for a second. Time zone, fill based on IP. WebRTC, altered, switch this over. Geolocation, prompt, switch this over. And guys, basically all this stuff is these are just little settings that we've gone through trial and error over time just to figure out, like, okay, this is what makes the most trustworthy things with Facebook. All right, navigator. If this is different, don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry about it because it'll be based upon, what you're logging in from. Are you logging in from a Mac? What kind of Mac? Are you logging in from a desktop? What kind of desktop, right? Screen resolution, whatever your resolution is on your screen. So this is a MacBook Pro. So this is a 2560 by 1440 screen. If you have a 1080p screen, switch it to 1080p. If you have, like, for example, my desktop has 4K monitors, so I switched this to 4K resolution, right? And then for these, don't worry about these ones. Fonts, font list masking. Media devices, I put on, and then I turn off video inputs, just because sometimes what will happen is, I don't know if you guys know this, but Facebook will actually try and access your camera sometimes and look at your face, which is like fucking crazy in my opinion. But turn that off. Hardware, go down the list. So canvas off, audio context, noise, WebGL noise, WebGL metadata mask. Don't worry about these down here. Extensions, cut them off. Storage options, cut them off. Storage options, first 3 on, last 3 off. Browser plugins, boom, boom, both off. And all of these are off. I think the port scan protection is automatically going to be on for you guys. Turn that one off for now, just because I haven't done enough testing with it. But yeah, we got the settings, and realistically, we got this last thing, which is proxies, which, guys, I'm actually going to reference a new proxy provider, because I gave you guys 2 before, right? So I gave you guys Bright Data, and I gave you guys anonymous proxies. Now here's the thing. For some reason, a lot of you guys are having trouble with Bright Data, with just getting set up, and a lot of you guys are having trouble paying for anonymous proxies because apparently for a lot of you guys, they're only accepting crypto and not credit card and all this stuff. So I want to make sure that you guys have a good way to get proxies. So I am going to suggest another proxy provider. It is called IP Royal. That is IPROYAL. That is who I would recommend now for proxies. They have good proxies and the pricing is pretty good. But basically, guys, once you buy your proxy, this is what's going to happen. I'm not going to reveal the password, but basically what's going to happen is they're going to give you guys a couple things. So it's going to be like a login, it's going to be a password, and it's going to be the IP address and the port, right? And you're literally just going to copy and paste. So you copy, paste in the login, copy, paste in the password, copy, paste in the address, copy, paste in the port numbers, and then what you do here is you press check proxy. So let's wait a second. All right, cool. So if it's green, that means it's good. It'll tell you it passed. And then if it's not, then that means usually that either, well, most likely it means you put something in wrong, or for some reason your proxy is down at the moment, which it shouldn't happen. Usually it just means you put something in wrong, right? So all right, so we got that out the way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to log in to Facebook and to how to, like, for example, let's say the BM plug gives you, login info and you've never logged in before. I'm going to show you guys how to log into Facebook. Real quick, I'm going to pause this video. We're going to resume it just because I think this actually does have a Facebook account open on it. So just in case, I don't want to show any sort of login details or anything like that. So give me 1 second. We'll be right back and I'll show you guys how to do this. All right, guys, so I think we're back now. So here's what you guys are going to do. It's going to look like this. Okay, so you're going to open up 2 new tabs, right? So if you go here, right, I have copied. This is going to be the website that they give you for the 2-factor authentication. So you're going to go to this website, okay? Then you're going to go here for the 2FA code. You're going to copy this, and me showing you guys this isn't sensitive info because even if you guys go to the site and put in this is not going to do anything. So account name, just put 1, or like you could put any fucking number. It really doesn't matter. Paste the code, okay? Now it's going to have this code right here, okay? So then what you're going to do is you're going to go to this is super important, m.facebook.com, not facebook.com, m.facebook.com. Okay, and if you guys watched my warm-up or the video for the Facebook backend structure and also read the document, which you guys should read every single document. I don't think this video is going to have a document just because this is fairly simple stuff. You would know that for the first couple days you want to be in m.facebook.com, not on regular Facebook. So real quick, again, I'm going to pause this video one more time. I just need to get the login details. I don't want to show you guys those, and then I will show you guys the process of what to do afterwards. So here we go. All right, so I just entered in the details and pressed logged in. This is what you guys should now see, which you guys are going to go to this browser and you guys are going to copy and paste this into here, and then press save browser. And now, guys, you should be logged in. Right now, this is a browser that is actually already, or this is a profile that's already warmed up. The thing is, it's restricted. Like, the advertising access is restricted, so really don't have any fucking need for it. So you'd warm this up a couple days on m.facebook.com, and then after, let's say, I usually do this on like day 4, but let's just say hypothetically it's day 4 right now. After you're done doing the typical warm-up procedures, which again, you guys should know by reading the documents, scrolling, liking a couple things, you just go take out M, and then now you're at regular Facebook. Yeah. So at this point, right, go for a couple more days and it would pretty much be good to go as far as attaching it to a business manager, which in order for that to happen, you guys, you get your backup link, you'd paste it in, the backup link thing is pretty self-explanatory. You literally just open up a new tab right here, right? Paste in your backup link, and then it'll just prompt you through. It's very, very simple. So I think pretty much the last thing that I would need to show you guys is how to accept page requests, because I know a couple of you guys seem to be confused about this. So if you pay a plug to send you a page, then this is what happened, right? So you'd give them first, so you would go here, you'd copy this, right? You'd copy your Facebook link, you would send it to them and say, you know, all the page details you want, and then you'd come here to pages, and then under invites, they will have, you know, I don't know, it looks like this page is a crazy amount of invites. Usually it's just, it'll say like invited you to follow or invited you to like this page. Those are just random pages, but what it'll say is, under page invites, it'll say invited you to be an admin of the page, and literally you just press accept, and then just wait usually about 5 to 10 seconds, and then click on the name of the page after you pressed accept, and you're in. So this is a relatively short video. I just wanted to clear up some of the stuff about multi-login, because I know a lot of you guys are having trouble with this, and also just logging into profiles and stuff. I don't think I'm going to do a document on this video, to be honest, because I don't really think there's much of a need. But yeah, love you guys, and more videos, more bonus videos to come up.